So we're underway then in the PR1 Women's Single Sculls A final. Skarstein in lane 1 is the overwhelming favourite. There's an opportunity for somebody to be a new Paralympic Games hero here, because Rachel Morris, the outgoing defending champion from Great Britain from Rio de Janeiro, has retired, so someone else will be the gold medal winner. Skarstein of Norway in lane 1, Sheremet of Ukraine in lane 2, from Israel, Samuel in lane 3, Benoit of France in lane 4, Stepat of Germany in 5, and from Brazil, Claudia Sabino in lane 6.
Here we go, the first Paralympic medals to be determined on this Sea Forest waterway here at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. So coming into this first final, we're expecting to see Birgit, Skarstein and Anna Sheremet in those 2 centre lanes. But there's a communication saying due to adverse weather conditions, there's been a reallocation of the lanes. So we're seeing Skarstein and Sheremet in those top 2 lanes, lanes 1 and 2. So we'd normally find that if there's going to be a breeze coming from that side of the course. So I guess that's what the Fairness Committee have seen in the forecast and made the decision to change the lanes. So here, the absolute favourite coming into this regatta, Birgit Skarstein of Norway, leading the way in these early stages.
She's won the last 4 world champs, 4th in Rio, so outside the medals 5 years ago on the lagoon. The Olympic gold is the one she wants. Not lost a regatta since 2017. In a way, on the right-hand side of your picture there, already built up this commanding lead over the rest of the field. 31 strokes a minute and a boat speed of, what, 11.5 kilometres an hour out there, 365 metres raced in this A final. It is Skarstein of Norway. Well, already she's built up this lead, and it's only herself that can beat herself from now on. We're going to look to see who's going to be her closest challenger. It seems that it's Samuel in lane 3 at present. Sheremet of Ukraine in that yellow vest, just drifting out of shot to the right, but up at the 500 mark first, quarter race distance, Skarstein streets ahead.
This is an emphatic start from the Norwegian scull as she comes through 500 ahead of Moran Samuel. The direct qualifier from the heat, Ukraine's Anna Sheremet, finding herself back in 4th position right now. She had a little mishap coming out of the starting blocks a couple of strokes into the race. She just hit a buoy on the left-hand side of the lane, and that took her back a little bit. So she's going to have to make that up in these stages to keep in medal contention.
The lead enjoyed by Skarstein is 8.47 over Samuel. So surely we are looking at the women's single sculls, the PR1 women's single sculls gold medalist at Tokyo 2020. All the talk really coming into this regatta was whether the supremely talented 32-year-old Norwegian could do it, could lay down the fast times and could win the races when it mattered most at the Paralympic Games. A phenomenally impressive athlete, took up para rowing in 2012, has served on the finance committee for Oslo City Council, also on the Norwegian Advisory Board of Biotechnology, and the first wheelchair dancer on the Shall We Dance show in Norway as well. Making beautiful music out on the water here in Tokyo here. Our race leader in the PR1 women's single sculls. That's Samuel, 2nd at present from Israel.
So Samuel having to go through the repechage after being relegated in the heat, and she took that on with great dignity, saying she thinks the greatest ability she has as an athlete is to put aside what's irrelevant for her performance in the race. And she said as soon as she found out she'd have to compete again in the repechage and wouldn't get that direct qualification, she made the changes to the boat that she'd been asked to make and competed again in the repechage. She went and did another training session, just felt the boat, got ready for the race and got on with it. So there was an issue after the heat with the fixed seat, that there was some movement in that backrest supporting her lower back. That's been altered now, and she's come through the repechage, taking that unexpected race, and now again in the A final, second place behind Birgit Skarstein.
Yeah, Samuel, a former member of the Israeli Air Force, played for the Israeli basketball team as well. In 2006 she suffered a spinal stroke, raced at the London Paralympics, reached the A final, on a second World Champs medal in 2014. Second place at the midway point, Samuel here, still behind Skarstein, 5:22.60. The gap is best part of 13 seconds now between first and second place scullers, with Benoit in third place in lane 4 for France.
Back riding with Birgit Skarstein. She competes in para cross-country skiing as well during the winter season, bringing up her fitness in that off-season from rowing and enjoying competing out in the snowy mountains. But here's France's Nathalie Benoit, diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at age 17. She's competed in wheelchair basketball and took some years off rowing, making a comeback in 2019.
Yeah, Benoit as well undertook that phenomenal challenge of rowing basically between Paris and the south of France, using the French waterways, the canal system there. Also a teacher, so real broad skill set from the French sculler, in third place at present behind Samuel and our race leader Birgit Skarstein of Norway. 2014 World Champs gold in 17, 18 and last time out in Linz 2 summers ago. Fourth in Rio, pretty sure that was actually the last big international regatta that she lost. It's a phenomenal winning run. Often it's the reputation that beats the competition, isn't it? That might well have been the case on the water here in Tokyo. Skarstein just showing us exactly why there was so much fuss and expectation over her gold medal chances here in Tokyo.
She's come back from an injury at the start of the 2020 cycle. She had a torn stomach muscle and a problem with her back, and has worked very hard to rehab that. Coming back again with phenomenal endurance, strength, power, a very graceful rowing stroke. She's very accurate at the front end of the stroke, really working with the boat to maximise the speed.
And up to the 1500 marker then, that's 3/4 race distance, way ahead of Samuel still, 8:13.79. The Paralympic best time set by the Israeli Samuel, 10:33.34. Not sure that's going to be broken here, but that doesn't matter, that's a secondary concern. It's all about keeping it steady now over the last 500 to come in and win the gold. So Samuel as second place by 5 seconds from France's Benoit, and we're looking at our 1, 2 and 3 surely here: Norway, Israel and France, and then Sheramet next over the 1500 marker in 4th place. Pilar Stepat down in 5th, and Sabino in 6th place.
Birgit Skarstein talks about her love of the sport and also the pain she endures through this sport, and this is the point of the race where it's really, really hurting. She's maintaining this beautiful technique and rowing on with another 320 metres to go in this race. A look back at the 2nd and 3rd place rowers: Israel's Moran, Nathalie Benoit of France.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot across the course here, looking at our medalists elect. Now within the red boys, the last 250 metres, 13 different nations have won Paralympic rowing medals. Never Norway. All that's about to change thanks to Birgit Skarstein, who has led from the front. Just 2 races here in Tokyo. She wiped the floor with the opposition in that heat 48 hours ago. She's had a lot of time to contemplate this final.
She's making her sprint, going for this Paralympic best time of 10:33.
She's really upped it, hasn't she? Skarstein, 10:33.34 is the Paralympic best time. Yeah, a little too much to do, but never mind. It is a brilliant gold medal for Birgit Skarstein of Norway, the winner in the PR1 women's single sculls. She was streets ahead, way too good for the competition. Clear open water. She is the winner in the women's singles.
What a win for Norway's Birgit Skarstein. Fabulous gold streak through the Paralympic cycle these last 5 years. It means so much to her.
Incredible winning sequence to land Norway's first para-rowing gold medal at the Paralympic Games. And Samuel of Israel comes in. So she won a bronze 5 years ago on the lagoon in Rio. It's a silver this time around, and Benoit of France comes in for the bronze. So it's Israel and France on the podium as well. Next comes Sheremet in 4th place. Got out of the blocks quickly, but couldn't maintain it. And Pille Stepat there from Germany in lane 5 comes in a 5th place. Brave race from the 53-year-old from Stuttgart. But Paralympic champion in the PR1 women's single sculls. 4 World Championship titles and now an Olympic gold for the brilliant Birgit Skarstein of Norway. Moran Samuel adds to her bronze from Rio with a silver here in the women's singles. And 3rd place, the bronze, Nathalie Benoit, who is overcome with emotion, and no wonder. So Sabino, that is, crossing the line. The Brazilian, the 44-year-old from Sao Paulo, to finish in the Paralympic final here. The best part of 2 minutes down on our race winner, Birgit Skarstein. Not always the case, is it, that the favourites do what's expected of them? You occasionally see a blowout. That was never happening. This woman was in complete control of this regatta.
France's Benoit taking the bronze medal.
Yeah, the silver medalist from London. Another medal for her. Well, she likes to hit the front, and then she can see the rest of the field, Skarstein. Concentration, remembering the process.
It's an emphatic win for Norway, for the whole team. She trains along with the Norwegian rowers, and it will really bring great pride to the whole of that team.
So just the wind down now after the thrill and exhilaration of racing. World champs are one thing, but winning a gold medal in an Olympic Games, it's another level entirely. So first, the Paralympic rowing medal for the Norwegians here in Tokyo. They had Kjetil Borch, who won the silver in the men's singles at the Summer Olympic Regatta last month. Skarstein joins an elite pantheon of rowers. And Benoit, 9 years on from her silver in London, with another Paralympic medal.
Big smile and a wave up to the Norwegian supporters there in the grandstand. The Sculls just pulling in alongside this medal presentation pontoon.
Birgit Skarstein, the big favourite, carried it through and has won the gold medal in the PR1 women's singles sculls. Moran, Samuel and Nathalie Benoit, second and third, silver and bronze, have more Paralympic medals to add to their collections. Sheramet in fourth, Stepat in fifth, and Sabino finishes sixth in this A final here at the Tokyo Sea Forest Waterway in the PR1 women's singles.